Okay, start now.
Oh, thank you, Sachin. Wanting to connected to from all across the country. And then we'll also have a question answer round after the end of the presentation. So, on behalf of Chaudhary Charan Singh National Institute of Agricultural Marketing, Jaipur, to the Kisan Mitra webinar series on agricultural technologies for marketing, organized by CCS NIAM in partnership with Office of Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India. Chaudhary Charan Singh National Institute of Agricultural Marketing is an autonomous organization established by under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, to cater to the needs of farmers and basically, to cater to the various agricultural related aspects such as training, research, consultancy, education in the field of agricultural marketing. CCS NIAM, I would say, is also recognized. Now, so coming up next, Kisan Mitra is basically an initiative of CCS NIAM with is basically an initiative of by Principal Scientific Advisor Office in partnership with Chaudhary Charan Singh National Institute of Agriculture and Marketing. The objective of this initiative is basically to bring technologies of farmers and reverse migrants who have moved rural due to the impact of COVID-19. Under this initiative, more than 1,000 technologies have been identified, which are supported by ICR institutes, NABARD, Ministry of Rural Development, ISRO, and Gates Foundation. And on the supply side, there are innovators, entrepreneurs, researchers in academic and research institutions talking about their technologies. And the basically the webinar participants being on the demand side are also typically agribusiness enthusiasts, government functionaries, agribusiness companies, and other agribusiness stakeholders who are keen in agri technology. So today with us we have someone from Krimanshi. Uh, just give us brief intro stands for. Basically, Krimanshi Technologies works on sustainable and conventional feed system to feed our animals and valorizing food residues and surplus into highly nutritious feeds. And that basically is our topic for today's webinar, that is reinventing feeds for farm animals using food residue and surplus. uh, since we know that there's a falls on the expensive side, there's a rising need to use alternative resources and develop cost effective solutions. Today with us, we have an eminent speaker, Mr. Nikhil Vora, who's founder and CEO of Krimanshi Technologies Private Limited. He's basically a biotech engineer and has extensively researched cultivating and harvesting microalgae as an alternative food. He has developed a unique formulation for animal feeds for increasing milk production naturally. He comes with a great experience of almost around 8 to 10 years working in the program management, training, monitoring, and evaluation with NGOs, certain projects with European Union, JICA, and World Bank, and as also social enterprise functioning across environmental conservation. So, Nikhil, I will over to you, and I again request all the participants to kindly keep their mics on mute till Nikhil is presenting, and after that we'll have a session on question and answers. Over to you, Nikhil.
Hi, thank you so much for such a warm introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Nikhil Bahora, founder and CEO of Krimanshi Technologies Private Limited. We are an animal nutrition startup based out of Jodhpur, Rajasthan, and we have been working on various unconventional feed resources to improve the quality of the animal feed and also to keep the prices under control. Uh, I will start with a short presentation about what we are doing, and then I would like to show a small video case study done by an American organization on Krimanshi, and then we can open the floor for the questions. So to start with, again, like good morning, everyone. Over the last 1 year, if we see, there has been a strong interest, even among the, I would say, the startup ecosystem in agri-tech as well as in the government, where we have our own animal husbandry ministry coming up. That the importance of livestock rearing has, come to the eyes of different major stakeholders and functionaries. And this is the time when we see as a great spot to be in to work in such a sector, I would say. Uh, India is the largest milk producer in the world, and that is just because of the sheer number of our animals, uh, because our productivity is still quite low. And if we see that majority of these animals they are based in rural and semi-urban areas, and one of the important factor that we saw was the quality and the cost of good feeds. There's a dearth of good quality feed, and if the feeds are available, they are sky high in cost, which farmers really could not afford because the milk prices are still under control and they do not get the right amount for their produce. Uh, so if you see it at the larger level in terms of animal feed issues, the farmers are facing a huge feed and fodder deficit. As per the government of Department of Agriculture, there's a 40% deficit in green fodder and even larger in feed concentrate. Uh, Also, there have been higher incidences where we have seen a larger number of adulteration in cattle feed. There's a quite high usage of urea and other chemicals which are way beyond the permissible levels. And eventually, the real good feeds, which are good in quality and low in chemical load, are quite high in cost. And then farmers are not able to realize the cost in terms of selling the milk. So that is the farmer side of the problem. As a manufacturer, be it a cooperative like Amul or regional players like Saras, KMF in Karnataka, or even the private sector, Cargill, Godrej, Patanjali, Capella, all of these manufacturers are also facing a big problem where they see over 30% year on year rise in the cost of feed inputs. So with the cost of feed input going high, becomes difficult for them to sustain on the price point that they are selling the feed to the farmer. And if they go beyond to that price point, it becomes difficult for the farmers to buy those products. And they eventually go or resort to low quality, local available feeds, whatever is available. Also, there's no quality or cost parity if we see in terms of mid-sized manufacturers because there's not much of the transparency in terms of fee transactions for smaller players. And it is also difficult for a manufacturer to change the feed formulation at an instant. It is again a gradual process. So these have been different problems which has been plaguing feed industry. And at Kemanshi, we're trying to find a sustainable solution for the same. Uh, we started 5 years back as more of a research organization where we were working with different NGOs and the various developmental organizations, where we are trying to find different local resources or forest producers which can be used as a cheaper alternative for the cattle feed. And we stumbled upon something called mesquite pod. It is Vilaiti Babul Pali, that we call in Hindi. So these are highly nutritious pods that we started with, and those could be used as cattle feed. But then the seeds were very hard, and whatever animal used to chew that, they would have their jaws dislocated. So there have been like certain myths of using such things. Then we researched different ways to use that while grinding. We fixed an inclusion percentage for that, and slowly and steadily we developed a peculiar kind of sweet smelling feed with the right protein, fat, and fiber content, and we give to our farmers. And farmers showed really good interest in that because that was something readily eaten up by the cattle. And it also gave results because it had the right balanced protein, fat, and fiber content. And one fine day, a farmer came to us that whatever you're doing is something really good, and he can become our customer if we can assure the regular supply. So that was something good for our years because we had been researching and we didn't think to start a business out of it. But then this was something we thought that was a good opportunity, and it was a great, I would say, field to work in because we, as founding team, are from biotechnology and chemistry sector, and this is something which we really love to do. Uh, then we started Kremanshi, and we had different ideas of using different kinds of resources which were going waste. For example, we reached out to APMC Jodhpur, where we saw over 2 tons, up to 2 tons of waste going out every single day in terms of crushed fruit, crushed vegetables, squashed vegetables, which were again, thrown out to the dump yard. Uh, that we found that they were like really good resources. So initially we started collecting them, washing them, treating them with calcium and the salt, and then supplying it to local farmers just to see the efficacy in different percentage inclusions. And the farmers came back to us that they found that the milk, SNF, and fat it rose instantly within 7 days. And this was something really good that they would like to add into their own feed. And then we saw this as a scalable model where we could have a fixed inclusion percentage of such fruits and vegetable waste or residues, and then we can use these as an ingredient for making the enriched balanced feed. So that was the start of a formal business where we launched our products in 2017. We have now 4 different variants under the brand called Cattle Metal. Cattle Metal basically means to reach the real potential of the cattle. The 4 variants that we have now are Cattle Metal Plus, Champion, Supreme, and Ultimate, and they all comply to Bureau of Indian Standards, which have been set by the government. There are different types, type 1, type 2, type 3, based on their protein levels and fat levels. So we follow the same. And then we have a top dress, which is a Cattle Metal Ultimate, which is for the high yield cattle or the buffaloes, and it could be used as an alternative to say oil feed cake, cotton or some other oil feed cake because it is very high in protein and fat content. Uh, Also, we researched into developing different kinds of silages because conventionally it has been corn or other green silage or beetroot silage what we have seen. Uh, but these are again not available around the geography of India. So we started researching on different leafy waste or farm waste, which could again be converted into silages. So we started our trials with banana leaves, which have been available in plenty. So we treated banana leaves with different molasses, calcium, salts, and we started making salads out of it. And with a 6 month research, we also found that it could be used as a good alternative to the corn silage, again in terms of protein, and added energy could be used by adding molasses or other grain into it. So these are the things that we are currently selling. We're also selling 2 kinds of mineral mixtures. One is normal one, the other one is chelated. They're again designed for semi-arid region of Rajasthan. We are now basically touching 1,500 farmers every year with over 120 plus retailers in 4 districts of Rajasthan, namely Jodhpur, Pali, Jaipur, and Sikar belt. We are gradually increasing our customer base. We have also recently this month itself, we have also started our first distributor in Bardmer and Sikar districts as well. And we did around 1.37 crore of business in last financial year. Kremanshi has been the winner of Animal Husbandry Startup Grand Challenge, which was organized earlier this year by the Department of Animal Husbandry, Government of India. We've also been under Forbes 30 under 30 Asia list of 2018, and we have been International Agribusiness Awardee at Expo Milan in the year 2015. We run a triple bottom line company where we have a threefold impact on environmental, economical, and social. Our farmers have reported up to 20% increase in milk production when they have been feeding the cattle on our prescribed diets and feed for over a month, translating into an additional earning of 60 rupees per day per cow. We've created up to 30 indirect and direct jobs in total in terms of waste collection, logistics, treating and production, and again distribution. And we have capacity to upcycle around 7.5 tons of food waste or food residue waste from industries every single day, which again is equivalent to 14,250 kilograms of carbon dioxide equivalent. Hence, we are also curbing upon the GHG emissions if these waste were to dispose in dump yards. We are a team of 10 as of now, with a core team comprising of myself being a biotechnologist, one doctorate in chemistry. We have a data technologist. Then we have MBAs in sales team and MCOM and LLB people in finance. We have been supported by government of Rajasthan and Arunachal Pradesh government, and we have been funded by Social Alpha, Wilgrow, CII, and Ahmedabad, and supported by Yes Bank and HDFC Bank. Thank you so much. That was all from my side. I would now like to show you a video. Akshay, you think audio would be available or will this be visible?
I think audio would be I think would be fine. Sachin, can you confirm? At least just play it. I think let's see how does it go.
Sure, I'll just start that. Is it audible?
No.
No, yeah. Maybe I can just overlay the video and I can speak something what we talked about and
you can
how we are working.
That video, I think, as the whole context of it, I think, visually it would help.
Okay.
Later on that. All in all, this
Sure.
would work.
Sure. So I'll start like talking more about this video where there's organization from US which flew down to India uh, to cover a story on Cremanchi. They have been researching on the dairy industry since dairy is one of the largest emitter of GHG emissions, and they have been covering different organizations which are working in the dairy sector. Uh, if you see the whole dairy industry, uh, on one hand, we have the increasing demand of milk products, where the larger companies with the larger dairies, they are resorting to different ways of increasing the milk production, like injecting of hormones and other products to increase the productivity in the cattle. Uh, and on the other side, if you see, there is a huge problem of food waste, where much of the food finds it, you know, fade into the dump yard. At Cremanchi, we are basically joining those both ends, where we are converting this food waste of fruits and vegetable surplus into feed ingredient powders, which are used to make balanced feeds out of it. It showed the story of one of the farmer named Mr. Mevaramji from Ambuja Cement Foundation, which is based in Rabariawaz, Pali district. Uh, it, who basically says that he had been working or managing that farm for over 10 years, and he had used various brands, local and national brands, and he had suffered a lot, where he used to encounter problems like mastitis and other diseases among the cattle very frequently, and had to spend a lot on the uh, vaccinations and veterinary services. And after he started using Cremanchi products, within a span of 15 days, he was able to produce his actual production limit, and the fat percentage and the SNS percentage were consistent. Uh, Prior to that, he used to get feedback from his client that the milk is high in water content, or the quality keeps on changing. But after using Cremanchi, he had a consistent quality of the milk, and even his client started praising them that the milk is much thicker, is having more fat, the whey is more, and all other appreciation. And he had been using it for over 12 months, and he has been able to reduce the veterinary spending by 50%, and his overall milk production has gone up by 25%. So that has been a really good impact study for us, which has been reported by the farmer and the Ambuja Cement Foundation. So at present, we are present in Jaipur, Sikar, Pali, Nagaur, Jodhpur, and Badmer district. And we would be happy to connect with the farmers in these districts and happy to serve them. Thank you.
Nikhil, I think it is right that however saturated a market can be, there's always a space for a new technology or product to come in. And I think your Cremanchi technology has quite and your up and coming future technology for the food and fodder genre of the whole entire agricultural ecosystem. So thanks again, Nikhil. Now I request all the participants, if you have any questions or queries pertaining to the presentation just made, kindly drop in. You can directly switch on your mic and ask the query directly to Nikhil. He's available, he's audible. So I request participants to unmute your mic and kindly ask any questions or queries. Or if chat box only, I can also convey the same channelized to Nikhil. Okay, before anybody asks any query, I would like to ask a few questions. How did it the entire idea at the initially like I would say you have only targeted Rajasthan as a core market for Cremanchi as of now, But then, do you see yourself in future, extending it to further states? And I think what would be the next state you would like to encounter?
Definitely, Akshay. We are, moving to different states to support the cattle industry there as well. For us, the prima facie requirement is again for the raw material. So we have started a small plant in Bangalore as well, where we are taking the fruits and vegetable residues from different industries and converting them into feed ingredients. So wherever we have larger food, fruit, and vegetable wastage, that is the prime area that we would be interested in, because that is we go closer to the source of our raw material. We have also recently have an MOU with government of Arunachal Pradesh, where we are setting up a unit in Arunachal as well, again for cattle and piggery feed. Uh, we are also shifting gears in terms of adding further verticals like poultry and fish feed in next 6 months of time, and we would again be targeting state of Andhra Pradesh for that. So we are open. We started with Rajasthan and Jodhpur specifically because I belong to Jodhpur. I have heard
Oh,
tales
I belong
how.
to Pali.
Oh, great. So yeah, like from childhood, I have been hearing stories that Jodhpur mandis, it is the largest ghee mandi in the world. Jodhpur consumes largest amount of ghee and milk products in the world. So those have been something which I've been hearing. But then after working with different developmental organizations, it is very clear that farmers' plight has not gone down. They have always been undertaking end of all of the industry, I would say, and that was something which made me to start with Jodhpur first, and then to roll out to different districts and states in India.
I think it's a very well taken route. Nikhil, I would also like to ask, was there any impact of COVID-19 on the entire process or for the entire thing that you were trying to carry out? So how did it impact very, in any manner to you?
It definitely did. Though we have been under the essential commodity category, but then the transportations, logistics, getting labor, uh, raw material production, everything took a hit for a couple of months. We have not been able to move out. Operating the Bangalore facility again was a challenge for us from here. So there were multiple challenges, but now what I see is that things are coming back on track. We are again at our pre-COVID revenue level. So those things are there. We have added other feed ingredients which we were not selling along with our cattle feed, so that we can give a larger choice of materials to purchase to our retailers. So those have been some modifications that we did after the COVID. So also there's a big problem of credit in the market. Since we had been directly working with the farmers, it is very difficult for the farmers to pay back us on time. So the payments which we were expecting coming to us in April or May after the sales of March, we have not still able to collect that, and farmers would take like 4 5 months more to pay that back to us. So these have been the challenges of COVID.
And I think good luck ahead. So I think there's one question from the participants which it pertains to what is the major source of protein in the feed. So I think that relates to the nutritional value of the feed that you are catering.
Sure. So we do work with guar korma, then we have cotton seed cake, and then we have mustard seed cake. These three are the major sources of protein in the feed. We also use 0.5% urea inclusion uh, for the areas for the product which are the low lying end, like the cattle metal for us. The price of our product, we have a price range starting from 850 rupees per bag, which is 50 kilo bag, right up to 1300 rupees per bag for our four variants. The plus variant, it has 18% protein and 2.5% fat. That is prices 250 sorry 850 rupees for 50 kilo bag.
And Nikhil, does this this fodder is different for different cattle breeds, as in like for cow or maybe sheep or goat? Or is there a variation in between, or it's like, because I'm not from the agriculture background, so I'm just curious question.
Ranawat, I have one question.
Yes, sir. Yes, Reddy sir. Please.
The food waste in the hotels, functions, marriages, can it be converted into cattle feed? Just you can ask him. Is there any technology? Can we retain that nutrients to feed it to the animals? Recycling of food waste, particularly hotels and marriage halls. Just you can ask the speaker.
Sure, sir. We can do that. The only problem here is that in most of like across India, the feed which is being fed to cattle has to be from the plant source. We are not using any animal source. So any of the food which we are collecting from hotels or marriages, if it has some non-veg or non-vegetarian component like meat or egg, then we won't be able to use it for the cattle feed. But certainly you can use it for piggery feed. So yes, we can use the hotels and uh, you know wedding, marriage gardens, and all those food waste, and we can segregate that into two different categories. Uh, if it's pure vegetarian or organic source, we can use it for the cattle, and the other sources which can be used for the pig feed.
Sir, one more question. A lot of fruits and vegetables wastage is there in the APMCs, mandis. Fruits and vegetable 30% wastage is there in the handling process. Can it be used, and are there any being used? This fruit and vegetable wastage results in the APMC mandis for cattle feed, sir?
So we can definitely use it. We have been working with Mohana Mandi in Jaipur, where we were collecting the banana leaves and other waste, and Kolar APMC near Bangalore, where we have been collecting the tomato waste.
I am from same place, Kolar. I am from Kolar only, native of
Oh,
Kolar.
I'm glad, sir. We are starting our Bangalore unit again, and I will be. I was in Bangalore 3 days back, so I'm again traveling to Bangalore by September end, and maybe like we can catch up in Kolar and we can even discuss further.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any other participant, if you have any question, or maybe for that matter, any suggestion, I think it's more than welcome. Anything you can contribute to the entire presentation just made. If you have any expertise, because I know the people who have joined us, they vary from different backgrounds, majorly from agricultural ecosystem. So if you have anything to submit, you can, we'll be more than happy to take anything. Just check. So Nikhil, as I was saying, question was very basic as to, is there a fodder which differentiates between other than piggery? Is there a fodder which differentiates in cows and sheep and goats and all? Is it there is something of the nutritional value which adds on more to the milk production, or is there any difference?
See, there are different, I would say, like parameters or different protein and fat levels set up for different kinds of animals. The product that we are manufacturing, these co-products, they can be fed even to goat, sheep, and even to camel. So those could be used, but it is. But again, like it depends on the the end result. For what are you rearing? Are you rearing goat for the milk, or are you rearing goat for the meat? Uh, Same thing for the cattle. Are you rearing cattle for milk, or are you rearing cattle for beef? So for all those purposes, the formulation changes. So right now we are only having the products which are for milk industry, like milking cattle.
Fine. Thank you so much. So I think as I do not see any further question, or yes, there is one more question. which pertains to there's a lot of waste generated in the wholesale fish market. Can this waste be used? Has your feed tried for fish anywhere?
So we have not tried for fish feed yet. We are launching our insect protein, which will be used as ingredient for making the fish feed. Yes, we are evaluating the fish market. So I did my engineering from Vellore, Tamil Nadu, Vellore Institute of Technology, and I am connected to quite a few scientists who are from around the Tamil Nadu area and have an access to fish market, where we do have a lot of fish waste. It can certainly be used. We are totally on it. This again, like, would be used for either fish feed or the poultry. We do not have a capacity as of now, but once we have the capacity, we'll certainly be trading, or getting this fish waste and treating that to form fish feed ingredients. And if you have some connects, it would be like really helpful for us to explore those connects and to scale the work.
Dr. KK Vas, I think, sir, it's a humble request. If you have any connections in the fish market, you can directly contact Mr. Nikhil Vora. He's CEO and founder of Krimanshi Technologies Private Limited. So, just to the end of session, I guess there are no questions or queries, and I think all the possible criterias of the question answer are encountered by Nikhil. So again, I would like to thank Nikhil. I think your Krimanshi Technology is doing a revolutionary field of feeds and fodder for animal farm. I think you are properly utilizing what food residues and surplus. So thank you, Nikhil, CCS Niam, as well as from the office of Kisan. I think you are truly a Kisan Mitra, friends of. And I would also like to thank participants participating and considerably here. Hello.
Yeah, Akshay. I think your voice dropped for some time.
I was just concluding the entire session. I was just saying that thank you so much, Nikhil, for this entire presentation. And I think technology is revolutionizing entire feed orders ecosystem for us. And so good luck ahead.
Thank you, Akshay, and thank you whole CCS Niam team, and thank you
all
all
the participants for actively participating and sincerely listening to Nikhil and us throughout the presentation and the webinar. So now I think I would like to bring the webinar to a conclusion note, and thank you everyone. Nikhil, would you like to?
Thank you, Akshay. I'll say, like, thank you for such an opportunity to showcase our work to such esteemed participants. We are a growing startup, and we are looking for partnerships and exploring opportunities to work together. And if anyone of you has more feedback for us for our work, or if you have some connections or ideas where we could work with, you're most welcome to share that with us. And also, we would like to explore more partnership opportunities with CCS Niam, since we are based in Rajasthan, and CCS Niam being one of the premier institute in the country, based in Jaipur itself. So I would certainly request you, Akshay, if you could connect us with your Department of Animal Nutrition, if we could, work together and explore opportunities to work together.
I think I'm having a technical glitch. I'm unable to hear Nikhil.
Shall I speak again?
Oh yes, no, okay, now I do. Okay. Yes, I think I've in ECC would love to collaborate with you on this front. And I think if we see any such kind of technology, and if there is a technology transfer for that matter, we would definitely love to connect with you. We are running an incubation center. It's called NIAM Agribusiness Incubator. We have technologies from all across the country. There we are running 2 programs, so I think if there's a chance for us, if we can connect you to any of the startups, we would love to run them.
Sure, Akshay, that would be great.
Request all the participants, you may leave the meeting room. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.